Hey kiddos, welcome to another week. This is your Unidad 7 Examen review. So it's going to be great, and I think this is going to be maybe one of the easier ones, hopefully. A couple of you have already taken this test, so it looks like you've done an awesome job, and I am excited to hop in. So the first 5 questions, there's 50, remember, on this test. First 5 are reading comprehension, so it gives you the little paragraph. You read the questions and then you answer it based on the same paragraph. 6 through 10 are listening comprehension, so you listen to the passage and then you're answering the questions. 11 through 25 are vocab, and then 26 through 35 are about reflexive verbs. And these are a little bit different. These are more like Gustar. And what I want to point out to you, this is your life hack for your test, is that in the guion that we're going to go through in just a little bit, it focuses more on Gustar. In your test, however, it focuses on that list of verbs that are tacked on the end. Things like dolerse, parecerse. So we'll talk about that and we'll get you all spiffied up for that. Also, my little life hack for you, check out the noun after the verb when you're doing these ones, and we'll talk about that, like I said, a little bit more. 36 through 45 are about hacer and expressions of time. And then last but not least, 46 through 50 are culture. So let me share my screen and we will go straight to the guion about hacer and expressions of time. So there are a couple different ways of talking about how much time ago, right, that you did something. But this is a pretty common one. So the present tense formula is really pretty easy. Hace, right? Hace 3 años, hace un año, hace whatever. Que, and then you say whatever you've done. So for a super simple example for me, hace un año y medio que me mudé a Costa Rica. So that's a little bit different because it's in the past. We're getting there. But it's been a year and a half that I've been living in Costa Rica, that I moved here. So there's a difference between the literal way that you would translate this, right? It makes a year and a half that I moved in the past, is what I used, to Costa Rica. However, when you translate it, check this out. I have been living in Costa Rica for 2 years, for a year and a half. Hopefully that makes sense. The other way, and this one isn't quite as popular, but it still exists, is desde hace. So, for example, yo vivo en Costa Rica desde hace un año y medio. But particularly in the Latin American countries I've been in, so that'd be like Mexico, Costa Rica, obviously, Panama, Nicaragua, Guatemala. I haven't really heard the desde hace so much. Past tense formulas. So sorry, I kind of jumped a little bit to this one, but same idea. How long ago an action took place? So check it out. Hace, in the period of time. Que, and that que is in parentheses because it's not absolutely necessary. Grammatically, it kind of should be in there, but and then after that, you put your preterite tense verb. So preterite tense is what this is focusing on. So in this unit, we're not going to focus on the other tenses. And then you can flip that around and you can say the preterite tense verb plus hace plus the period of time. So hace 5 años que fui a la Ciudad de México. Or fui a la Ciudad de México hace 5 años. And then when you put it in a question, you might say, ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que comiste chocolate? So how long ago did you eat chocolate? If I was responding to that, I would say, hace mucho tiempo que como chocolate. It's been a long time. Wish I had some. And yeah, when you make those negative, you just add no before the verb. So for example, hace mucho tiempo que no comí chocolate. It's been a long time since I haven't eaten chocolate. Yeah, so that, my friends, is the hacer and expressions of time. Here are the gustar and other verbs. And I think you've talked about these in other units, but it generally means to please, to be pleasing to, or to appeal to. But in English, that sounds really formal and awkward and stuff. So we say to like. However, they like things slightly differently. So they say that something is pleasing to me. So, for example, keeping on the chocolate theme, me gusta el helado de chocolate. In English, I would say I like chocolate ice cream, but in Spanish, I'm saying the chocolate ice cream pleases me. So, yeah, and chocolate me gusta, you can also put that around. When you conjugate it, you'll notice I used gusta. I didn't use gusto, even though it's yo, even though I'm the one talking. I've worked with a lot of you in your writing and in your speaking. When you do this, you're either going to use two forms, and you only ever use these two forms for saying that you like something. So that'd be gusta, when it's a singular noun following it, like el helado, right? Gusta, me gusta el helado. Or you might say gustan, me gustan las pizzas. I like pizza a lot, right? But that's when it's plural. And we've also talked in your writing and in your speaking a lot about make sure you use that article after gustar. So me gusta el chocolate, not me gusta chocolate. So object pronouns. Oh, let me hit this, sorry, before we move on. You have learned to conjugate verbs based on who is performing the action, right? Yo salto, yo hablo, yo escribo. But this is where the subject of the sentence actually dominates the verb, with gustar and verbs like this, okay? So that's why it changes the sentence structure a little bit. These are the object pronouns. These should look pretty familiar. Me, te, le, nos, os, les. These are specifically the indirect object pronouns. So when you're clarifying, and this isn't absolutely necessary, but if you want to say like, I really like chocolate a lot, I would say, a mí me gusta el chocolate. A mí, okay? If you're saying you, a ti te gusta. If you're saying he, she, or you formal, a él le gusta, right? And then same thing with a nosotros, a vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. So that isn't necessary, but it definitely adds emphasis. The other clarifying thing, for example, in Costa Rica, they use the usted form. But it's not clear sometimes who you're talking about. So you might say, a usted, right? Le gusta el libro? So you're saying, do you specifically, okay? You can also use names. Word order, you can basically, what they're saying here is that you can flip all of these things around because Spanish is super fluid, so you can move it around and it usually is okay. And a little fun note that I don't think your unit talked about, when you use gusto, it's I like. So the only time I've ever heard people use gusto, gustas, things like that, gustamos, is when you're talking about romantically liking somebody. So you could say, me gustas, do you like me? And you'd say, sí, te gusto, or no, no te gusto, right? Whoops. So hopefully that makes sense. And then other verbs that work like gustar. So these things are like aburrir, to bore, alegrar. You might want to check this one out, wink, wink, it might be on your test. Doler, wink, wink, that might be on your test. So I might say like, me duele el brazo. Me duele el brazo. So the brazo is the subject, my arm. So it hurts me. Like that, I think wink, I think that one's on your test too. Importar, interesar, all of those ones. You might want to take a look, just practice these. There is a practice quiz you can take that I linked in the announcement. But I do want to remind you that The guiones are, I'm going to stop sharing here. The guiones are all linked in your announcement, so you can check those out. But there's the brief teaching and a little bit of fun stuff on the side, and hopefully that'll make sense. I'm always just an email away if you need me. So have an awesome week and good luck on your test. Ciao.